down there. We should be wrapping up this week, so that'll be getting finished up. But that's pretty much it as far as all the construction projects. In addition, just from a planning standpoint, we did complete the public survey for the 2025 plan. We had just over 1,200 surveys completed, 1,215 people took the survey online. So that was pretty good. It seemed like as far as input, and then we're just kind of going through that as we work towards developing the plan here this fall and into the winter.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions on any of the projects or the strategic plan, public survey? All right. Hearing none, we're going to move on to new business. Agenda item Ohio Revised Code 1545.21, levy renewal. This was in response to correspondence from the Jog County Budget Commission. Their correspondence was dated May 1st, 2023. This was a reply that I worked with legal counsel to generate. It says, dear members of the Budget Commission, I am reaching out on behalf of the Jog Park District in further response to your letter dated May 1st, 2023. In your letter, you referenced opinion number 2022-017 issued by the Ohio Attorney General and asked the GPD consider the opinion in preparation of its tax budget for year 2024. Particularly where the Ohio Attorney General found that a 1545 Park District is a taxing unit without authority to establish a reserve fund. After considering the opinion, the GPD Board of Park Commissioners by resolution rescinded its only reserve fund, our 2016 Capital Reserve Fund. And on June 5th, 2023, you, the Budget Commission, took formal action to amend GPD's 2022 official certificate of estimated resources reflecting the decision of the reserve fund and the transfer of those monies back to their source, the general fund. So, one item of housekeeping taken care of. Also in your letter, the letter goes on to say, also in your letter, you asked that the GPD be prepared to address and justify the legality of the collection of its two existing renewal levies to you in light of the opinion, which is admittedly is merely guidance and not binding. Finding that a 1545 Park District is not authorized to renew levies since your letter, the Ohio General Assembly, working with our care organization, Ohio Parks and Recreation Association, and others, revised section 1545.21 of the Ohio Revised Code to expressly authorize 1545 Park Districts to renew existing tax levies. This was part of the state budget bill, House Bill 33, and was signed into law on July 4, 2023 by Governor DeWine. A copy of the section 1545.21 of the Ohio Revised Code showing the changes as underlined is enclosed for your reference, and it was provided to our commissioners in their board packet. In addition, legal counsel Brian Matheny reached out to the Ohio Department of Taxation, specifically Shelley Wilson, Tax Program Executive, Tax Equalization Division, to confirm what, if anything, GPD would need to do with respect to any of its existing renewal levies passed by the voters prior to the change of section 1545.21 of the Ohio Revised Code. Ms. Wilson was extremely knowledgeable about the question of renewal levies, the new law, and our continued collection of our existing renewal levies as she worked closely with the Ohio General Assembly in revising the language of section 1545.21 of the Ohio Revised Code and the rest of House Bill 33. Ms. Wilson confirmed that the words any existing levy in the newly revised section 1545.1 apply to existing renewal levies, and that the Ohio Department of Taxation has neither any intention of invalidating any current existing levy, including an existing renewal levy, nor requiring or suggesting that a 1545 Park District go back and redistribute or refund the collection of any current existing renewal levy. Based on Ms. Wilson's confirmation, there is nothing GPD needs to remediate with respect to the collection of its two existing renewal levies. We go on to say in closing, I hope this letter and the action taken by the GPD Board of Park Commissioners addresses the item in question from your correspondence May 1st, 2023, and continues to ensure a positive working relationship with you, the Budget Commission. I also hope this letter addresses any outstanding issues that remain unresolved prior to our upcoming tax budget hearing on August 22nd. If not, I would appreciate knowing about any outstanding issues in advance of our meeting so that they can be reviewed and corrected if needed. Thank you for consideration. Finally, I want to recognize the positive working relationship between Deputy Auditor Kristen Sinatra, Tammy Mose, and GPD's Fiscal Officer Don Sweeney. On behalf of GPD, we appreciate Kristen and Tammy working collaboratively in order to ensure positive outcomes for both of us. Thank you. And that letter was sent to the Budget Commission on August 1st. So just want to provide that to the commissioners. The question of renewal levies was addressed. It was addressed by the state legislature. We're very grateful to our peer organization, Ohio Parks and Recreation Association, for working with the General Assembly and addressing this issue. So with that, any questions, any discussion? Thank you. And we will head over tomorrow for a 2024 tax budget meeting. Thank you, Dawn, for that submission. All right, move on to agenda item Bass Lake Stream Restoration Project, agreement between Jogga Park District and Chardon Lakes Golf Course. Instead of reading that one verbatim, go ahead and have Matt explain some of the scenarios and the possibilities associated with the stream restoration at Bass Lake.
Yeah, actually, the next two items I'll kind of run through sort of a project here that we've been working on, and it kind of relates to the next two agenda items. So our Planning and Natural Resource Management Department, this has been kind of an ongoing item. Over the last few years, we're dealing with the culvert at Woody Brook Road, which comes under Woody Brook Road from the golf course to the north and then flows down through Bass Lake into the lake kind of at the north end. So this area, it's kind of a channelized stream. There's a lot of vegetation where it comes through our property. So we've gone through periodically and had to deal with, our land stewards will go out, remove beaver dams, kind of help make sure the water stays flowing through there. But Paul and I had a good conversation maybe about a year ago of making this a priority and looking at different funding sources and how we could maybe pursue more of a restoration project like we did down at Beaver Creek. So this is actually the North Bass Lake Restoration Project. Basically, we're looking at kind of the Beaver Creek subwatershed of the Chagrin River, and this covers pretty much kind of the area from south of Chardon Square down through Bass Lake, kind of that whole area there. What we're proposing is, this is some of the existing conditions. This is a culvert under the road, kind of just south of Chardon Lakes Golf Course. This is kind of running back into the golf course. It's pretty channelized and at its almost bank flow all the time. And then this is where it crosses over into our property. We're dealing with about 2.25 square miles of area that's kind of draining down to this stream. What we're looking at is kind of the whole section through the golf course and into our property. So what we're proposing is similar to what we did at Beaver Creek. So the image up on the left is Beaver Creek. Originally, Beaver Creek was very channelized along the kind of east side of the property there. And we went back through and restored kind of a little bit more sinuosity to the stream channel, created some vernal pools, reconnected kind of the floodplain area with the stream. So during heavier rain events, it allows the stream to kind of come up out of its banks, flood into that area and function a little bit more as a natural system versus staying in that channelized system, carrying a lot of sediment and things into the Bass Lake area. So this is kind of what we're proposing doing at the north end of Bass Lake. So right now there's kind of 3 channels that all kind of work their way out. The original main channel, we're looking back at some images going back to the early 50s where you could really see where the main stream channel was defined. So basically we're looking at going in and redefining that channel, adding in vernal pools, connecting in this channel at a point where we can start to reconnect to the floodplain and really create a system that hopefully functions better than it currently is. The portion on our property is about 5,920 linear feet of stream restoration. And then we would be looking at an additional actually close to 2,000 linear feet when you add, there's a little stream kind of over to the west part of the golf course, and then this main one that runs all the way through to 44. So